Welcome to the Last 60 Best 60. And if you're just joining us now, it's the last 49 days of 2018. Every day I'm offering a few things to think about to really work on our lives. So today I wanted to talk about morning practices. So I have 4 practices to consider integrating into your morning. And these can be done in a variety of different ways, and I encourage you to find what works for you. But having taught yoga for almost 20 years, I've really worked on making myself a very precise instrument, because I have an hour or an hour and a half to teach a class, and that may be it for somebody's weekday life that I get to impact them, and I really want to do that very well. So I work on making my life work and my health work well. And so I just wanted to share 4 things that I've worked into my life. And again, they've taken different forms over the years, but I continually check in to see if I feel my best by the time I leave the house. So the first one is just to spend some time thinking about my dreams. And I know that sounds really weird. I actually used to wake up and just turn on a tiny light or grab a notebook and just write down my dream. Spend just like a few moments after my alarm goes off, or if I've woken up before my alarm, and just like be in that still kind of sleepy state of mind and see if you can remember your dreams. I have woken up with ideas and what I need to do for Illumin that have been transformative. I sometimes remember someone that I really want to connect with. I really have found that for me, just spending I don't even know how long I spend, 30 seconds maybe, just trying to not wake up and jolt myself out of bed, but to just remember what my dreams were about, or remember what comes up, because there have been really insightful things. Dreams. So think about it. It could take 30 seconds, and I've done it for I think I heard about this technique in high school. And not that I've done it every day in a systematic way, but I do spend time not jolting myself awake. That is one of the most important things. It's important in Ayurveda to make our transitions really smooth, and that transition from sleep into waking is incredibly important. And in terms of not shocking our nervous system, to like go from sleeping to like wide awake is really important. And if you've ever been to one of my yoga classes, I'm trying to make my transitions very smooth and very intelligent. And I think that waking up in this slower way can make a big difference. The second thing I'd like to encourage you to explore and consider doing in that first few moments of waking up is meditation. Over the years, again, I've done different things. I used to sit up and do like a seated sort of Zen quiet meditation. I'm currently doing guided meditations, and I listened to the same one for probably 5 years, and the one that I'm currently doing is a good one. So I'll list both of those resources in the notes. But just consider a guided meditation or some form of quieting and tuning into yourself. Different from the dream state, which I think is an important transition. This is an actual process of quieting, meditating, even contemplating, thinking about like what is going on with you before you take care of other people. Because that tuning in is like our compass. If we can get our compass to accurately be tuned into our values and our priorities and our dreams, our visions for the next 10 years, or the goal that you want to do in the next 49 days, it really needs to be set. It needs to be calibrated towards that. The third thing I suggest is some kind of stretch. And granted, I'm a yoga teacher, and I have craved the feeling of stretch and the experience and different stretches. So I know what I like to do, but I think for anyone, just having spent even 3 hours laying down, let alone if you're getting good sleep and getting 8 or 9 hours, it feels so good to really stretch your body. I like to do spinal rolls, so just from standing and then tucking my chin and rolling down, just exactly what it sounds like, a spinal roll, and then use your abdominals to come back up. I do that forward, I do it to the right, I do it to the left, I do it forward again, and then I feel like a new person. And then I do some other stretches like hips and shoulders, and depending on how much time I have, like just stretching my physical body feels so good. And the fourth thing that I'm suggesting, and actually in my notes I had this second because I actually think it's that important, is to hydrate. So I have a bottle of water by my bedside that I drink as much as I can before I go to bed, but I always fill it up. And so when I wake up, it's like ready to consume. And sometimes I'll do it right when I get out of bed or in bed sometimes just because I'm feeling thirsty. But I usually do it after I brush my teeth and scrape my tongue, which is an Ayurvedic practice. That's my way of kind of cleaning out my mouth and then hydrating, and like hydrating a lot. Because even though we haven't done anything in our sleep, I'll just say the juices in your body have been processing the day before. So whether that's the food or the muscles have been regenerating, and even like in the mind, and water is a really great way to just clear and flush all that's gone on. And we actually installed a water filter in our upstairs bathroom so that I can get filtered water upstairs. So my husband is awesome, and he makes it really easy for us to be hydrated and to make that as clean as possible. And then the last thing that I will suggest for your morning, and again, this can take shape in whatever way works for you, but I plan my day. So whether that's just looking at my schedule and seeing like where do I need to be and when, and how much time do I have between each activity, because sometimes it's travel time and sometimes it's prep time for a conversation or a meeting. Like get a sense of what you're doing and the flow of your day, even if you've done the same schedule every Thursday for 20 years. It just helps me to really think through, how do I need to show up? Who needs me to be effective and on and present? And I do that as a way of just kind of rehearsing what's going to happen in my day. Not rehearsing like what am I going to say, but just in my mind, like thinking through, how do I need to show up? Where do I need to maybe conserve my energy, because the next hour or so is going to be a lot of an energy output. Or it could be like, who do I need to contact today in the morning because I have a meeting happening in the afternoon and I need some advice or guidance on that meeting later in the day. So planning is kind of, for me, it comes pretty easy. It's one of my strengths. And if you're not great at planning, I highly encourage that you just practice in small ways, because here's the thing, like if you're at this level of your life, whatever age you are, but if you're aiming for a life that's illumined, it feels really good on the receiving side when you know that someone has prepared to show up for you. So here's just like something I've noticed is that when I prepare to show up and when I feel that people have prepared to see me, it's a much higher quality of a meeting or experience. And it's so subtle. No one has to say like, hey, I plan to see you and I hope you appreciate it. I'm not talking about like that. I am saying like, think about, plan, prepare for how you're showing up. It makes a difference in your presence. So stay with it. I know I'm suggesting a lot in planning your morning, but take whatever works for you, and it could be a very different form than for me. We've got 49 days to hone in and practice a lot of different ways to start our day, but I will say take a few moments, 30 seconds is all it takes to just be in that dream state. Hydrate, meditate, stretch, and plan. Thanks. Have an awesome day. Any feedback, let me know. Please share this with your friends and live an illumined life.